I'm pleased to be joined by Fabio Cherant, who will fight next for Cage Titans January the 25th when he takes on Carlton Little in a very exciting matchup. Fabio, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Not bad. Hope you had a nice Christmas. You got to eat plenty and get ready for this big upcoming fight. Did you do anything out of the ordinary? Maybe gorge a little bit more than you would, or did you kind of watch your calories as you get ready for this fight?
No, I don't have a huge appetite anymore. I have a weird appetite. Some days I can eat a lot, some days I can't. Usually the days that I'm like, I'm gonna eat so much food, I eat like a plate and I'm full. And usually around the holidays, like Thanksgiving, Christmas, stuff like that, that usually happens to me a lot. I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna eat so much food, and then when it comes time to it, I have like a plate and I'm like, all right, I'm good. I'll fall asleep.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I ate more turkey than anything, and that puts me in a little coma with how much turkey I eat. But let's talk about this last fight. Obviously, for Contender Series, it's been a little while since that happened. It was in late July. You took on Aleska Camur. You looked pretty good there in that first round, and you landed a big shot, an overhand left that looked like it rocked him, and then ultimately he caught you with that knee.
Yeah.
How gauging your performance, what do you feel like maybe you could have done differently? Did you feel like maybe you were a little too excited when you rocked them? Maybe
Yeah. I definitely I kind of like blew my nut in one go, and I saw the opportunity and I went for it, not thinking straight. And Alexi's game, and he did what he had to do. Nothing but respect to him, And I got excited. I went for the finish, and I paid for it, basically.
How bad did that knee connect? Did you feel like you could have had a chance to keep fighting, or do you think it was a good stoppage?
It was a good stoppage. My one thing was I felt like I could have continued, but then again, like I wasn't making any moves to continue. I just kind of stayed there. But it broke my jaw. I don't know if you knew that or not. So when I landed, I tried to roll over and I tried to catch his arm, and when he was hitting me, he kept on hitting me in the same side, and after a couple times, I grabbed his arm to try and get myself back to. I wasn't like rocked. I knew where I was. I knew what I was doing, but the pain in my jaw was crazy. So I grabbed his arm, and then he went around and just hit me from around on the side. And from there, it just kind of was like, fuck, that hurts. So it hurts so bad. It hurts so bad. And that's the only thing I could think about. Like, I could hear my coaches telling me what to do, but my brain couldn't process it because all I could think about was the pain. But if I could go back, so much things I would have done differently. After the first round, I felt myself getting in the groove. Even in the first round, I was just like, I'm not like the type of fighter that'll go out and try and go guns blazing. I'd like to stay cool, calm, collected, and pick my shots and do what I need to do. And I felt like the first round, they kept on talking about how he was throwing so much more punches, so much more punches, but landing though, is a huge difference, And I felt like I landed some pretty good shots in the first round, and the second round, my coaches told me to pick up the punches and put the pressure on him. And I did, and that's when I rocked. I believe I rocked him, and then bam, that knee.
Mm-hmm. What did you learn about yourself fighting on such a big scale? Because obviously you're very well known in the New England area fighting for CES, and obviously Cage Titans fight coming up. But this was just a bigger level, fighting down in Vegas in front of Dana White for a UFC contract. Is there something that you learned about how good you are competing on that level?
One thing I did learn is that this is what I belong doing. Throughout the whole process, the whole time I was telling my coaches, I'm like, damn, is what I need to be doing. Like when I was at the PI, you know, just hanging out, talking to some of the fighters on the roster, and like I just felt at home. I felt like that's what I needed to be doing, you know. And the whole process was truly amazing. There was only one point where I was like nervous, and that was right before I walked out when they were playing the intro. I had no idea that they were gonna put a fucking TV right next to the door, and they were playing my intro, and like I didn't know they were gonna put like pictures of my family and stuff on there, and I like started to get teary eyed, and I'm like sitting there, I started freaking out. I'm like, I need to go. I need to go. Like I was trying to walk through the door. They're like, no, you can't. You gotta wait. And I'm like, I need to go now. I'm like tearing up, and then like right when it ended, you know, I was just like, boom. I'm like, I'm good. You know, and I walked through the door, and I was fine.
Well, again, for my money, it did look like you belonged there on that level in that fight. You looked really good right up until that knee caught you there. So hopefully you will get another shot at Contender Series or maybe just the UFC in general here down the line. What have you been up to since? Has it just been staying focused, staying in the gym, and getting better?
Well, so I was kind of like on rest for a little bit, and then because of the injury, you know, and like I'm still like I'm good now, you know. I've been training, getting ready, and it it's weird, you know, because it's a weird feeling because I only fought once 2019. I was supposed to fight twice earlier in March, and then I got my fight pulled, and then I fought on the Contender Series. But it was a weird year for me, you know. I went from fighting so much to once, you know. Like 2018, I fought 4 times. I almost fought 5, and it was just it was weird. It was a weird setback, and definitely the injury kind of set me back a little bit. But you know, I'm back. 2019, 2020, it is full steam ahead. You know.
Are you as hungry as you've ever been? Because for me, it seems we talked a little bit after the Scrap released their article of the fighters in New England to keep their eyes on the most here moving forward. To me, it seems like there's a chip on your shoulder, like you got something to prove. Maybe people don't know just how good you really are.
You know, look, I at this point in my life, I don't need to prove anything to anybody. You know, if people want to sleep on me, that's their decision. But I mean, I find it a, a little weird, you know. I went from fighting on the Contender Series to being a nobody. Like they have like no disrespect to the kid that they put on there, the amateur, but I'm like, you're gonna put an amateur as top prospects to look out for in 2020? Like, what am I, like a nobody? You know what I mean? But hey, that's their decision. That's you know, like I said, in case you guys forgot, I'll remind you.
Well, I love that attitude, and I feel like that's only going to be a problem for your upcoming opponents here moving forward. And again, your next fight, as I said earlier, January 25th, Cage Titans. I'd like to talk about that specific opponent because his record isn't as good as maybe somebody else that I'm sure you prefer to fight. He's 7-8. Why this fight? Is because it seems like it's almost a dangerous one for you because you're supposed to go in and run through this guy.
I wouldn't say that, you know. This sport is so crazy, you know, and it's very uncontrollable. You can't control it, you know, the outcome. The well prepared fighter could go out there and get knocked out in like 5 seconds. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be a tough matchup. I haven't fought in a long time. I fought once last year. He's 7-8. I'm only 4-0. You know, he's got 15 fights under his belt, and to me, I'm looking at it like it's going to be a tough fight. You know, whether people think it is or not, that's on them. But for me, I'm taking it as a tough fight. If I take it lightly, then you know that's when shit can hit the fan. You know, so we'll see what happens. I'm excited, and I believe that I'm going to win.
Are you having a tough time finding the right matchups you want here regionally? It seems like maybe some people that have better records or are in the top 10 in New England maybe don't want to fight you. Is that accurate?
No. So what I had been talking to Mike Pulver since July after my fight, and I was telling him, like, I think it was like the week after I got out of surgery. I'm like, Mike, as soon as I'm cleared, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. We even found an opponent, and this guy was way on paper, way more like a better matchup. He's 5-3, and the kid pulled some stuff, and we had to move on. It was coming crunch time, so and I need to fight. I need to fight a lot this year.
So what is it you'd like to accomplish in 2020? I understand that you've talked about maybe going down to 185 pounds and fighting at middleweight. Is that an option, something that you're still looking to do?
Well, that was the plan, the kid that I was supposed to fight, we were supposed to do a catchweight fight at like 190, 195, just because I haven't had to cut weight in a long time. A 205 is really easy cut. I don't have to cut anything, and we were supposed to make that fight happen, and then after that, go down to 185. But, we had to go to plan B, and I'm fighting at 205 again, which I'm very comfortable at. I don't care what happens there. I'm good there. So, we'll see what happens.
Are there any names on your radar that you'd like to fight? I know you're not looking past your upcoming opponent. That's priority number one right now is the Carlton fight. But is there anyone here regionally that you got your eyes on that you're hoping you can step into the cage with?
I mean, to be honest, the way I think about it is, especially around here in New England, all the top prospects, we're all aiming for the same goal, is the UFC or better promotion. And for us to fight each other now, it'd be stupid. I'm not against fighting anybody around here in New England, and if the fight was, if it was bigger fight, like a fight for the UFC, Bellator, whatever it was, hell yeah, I'll do it. But we're all aiming for the same goal, so why not wait? Let's wait till we get to the bigger promotions to fight it out. See who's the best in our area. But right now, the way I look at it is, let's help each other grow and kill out everybody else.
Now, are you still looking to become a part-time firefighter, or are you just focusing 100% on training at this point?
No, I am. I'm taking the civil service test this upcoming year, and it's still my backup plan. I just, you got to have a plan B, because this fight game is so unpredictable. Anything can happen. I broke my jaw my last fight. God knows what else could happen. So I'm just, like I said, setting up myself. So if plan A doesn't work, I got a plan B. And a lot of people are like, oh, if you have a plan B, you're looking for a way out, or and it's not that. The way I grew up in life is you always have to have a plan B. You go into everything hoping for the best. If the best don't work, can't dwell on the losses. You just get up and move on, find something else that'll suit you.
Well, you clearly have a bright future. I'm looking forward to seeing you step back into the cage. Once again, it's been too long. If you have any sponsors or anyone you'd like to thank, the floor is yours, my friend.
I've got a lot of sponsors, but I just want to thank my coaches, Joe Lozon, Jake Manini, and all my teammates that helped me get ready for my fights. That without them, this wouldn't be possible. And my manager, Jason House from Meridian. He's been a big help, especially this past year, with getting me the fight for the Contender Series, helping me out with sponsors. Just, he's a great guy, and I appreciate everything he's done for me.
Yeah, well, you definitely have a lot of people in your corner. I wish you nothing but the best here in this upcoming fight, and who knows, maybe we will see you back fighting in Contender Series in 2020.
I hope not, but I hope I can get a couple wins under my belt in UFC. But if I have to go contender, well, I feel like I'm gonna have to go contender series again, which it's looking like that's what's gonna happen. And you better believe that it will happen if I don't get a UFC shot. I will be fighting on the contender series by the summer. So get ready.